Oh, this is such a beautiful song. And actually, you should definitely check out the instrumental cover version that I've made, details of which can be found at the end of this video. But right now, it's time for me to teach you the chords to this amazing song. This is the show where I attempt to teach a full song in the same amount of time that that song takes to play. So let's find out, can I beat the track? Now, I believe this track is 3 minutes and 20 seconds long. So I'm going to pop the timer up on the screen now, and we've got a lot of chords to get through in such a short space of time. So let's see if we can actually do this. Right, we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, let's go. We're starting with our capo, or for my American friends, capo, on fret number 3. And I believe we've got 9 different chords for this track. So we'll start with the intro, and we've got an A minor 7 to begin with. Nice easy chord, just like a standard A minor shape, except for we take away that third finger. So A minor 7, then to a G, and then C. A minor 7, G, C. Notice the count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we do that 3 times, but on the 3rd time, I'm going to add a chord. So imagine this 3rd time round. So what I'm doing there on the C, we've got a time signature change actually. It's like a kind of 2/4 bar. And it's really important you get the counting right for that. And then we go to an F for 2 bars, okay? I'll just roll that one more time, the 3rd time round. So we've got this A minor, G, C, F. And I want you to remember that sequence because actually, technically, that is the chords to the chorus. So we're going to come back to that in just a sec. Now, let's move on to the verse part. So we've got a G, A minor 7, back to the G, now to the C. Then we've got this lovely passing phrase. So what I'm doing there is A minor 7, A minor 7 / G, where we put our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret as the bass note, and then to an F, and then C. And then it repeats that phrase again for the 2nd part of the verse. The only difference this time is we start on an E minor chord instead of that G. So we've got E minor, A minor 7, G, then C, then that lovely passing phrase, F to C. And then this brings us on to the chorus. So again, we've got the A minor 7, G, C, F. And it does that 3 times. And then after the 3rd time, we just simply add the D minor chord for 2 bars. And then that brings us on to the final section, which is the bridge. And that features just 2 chords. So we've got a D / F sharp. So that's just like a standard D major chord with an F sharp. And then we move it over to an F major, and this repeats it 4 times. Now there's multiple ways that you can play that D / F sharp. So I choose to do it like standard D with the F sharp and the bass. You can add your 3rd finger up here, or you can actually technically add the bass note up there. And let's stop the time there with 13 seconds to go. Yes, we did it. Now I'm actually going to rerun each section at a much slower and more comfortable pace. That first segment is all about having a bit of fun. Firstly, to see if I can teach you the song in the same amount of time that that track takes to play. But also it's for those viewers that must view fast-paced content now. And hopefully that satisfies their needs as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to count us into each section. And what you can actually do is you can use the YouTube settings here to slow this down at a more comfortable pace and then gradually build up the speed. So kind of use it as a practice tool. And actually I've got some great practice tips that you should definitely check out with another video, details which can be found in the description below. Right, let's start with the intro first, okay? So I'll count us in. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. now we're going to move on to the verse, starting with our G chord. So here we go after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we've got the chorus section starting with this A minor 7. So here we go after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you're a little bit newer to chords as well, it's really worth noting, like with some of the chord changes as well, to search for what I call these anchor points. So there's a lot of similar shaped chords in this. So if you can see like the A minor 7, the only difference between that and the C is just this third finger here. So just by removing that finger, we're actually getting two different chords, but our anchor points here are these two fingers here because they stay planted. Again, same with the A minor 7, and then to the A minor 7 / G. Instead of playing here where we play that standard C-shaped chord, we're actually moving that third finger up. So again, these fingers stay planted. Now, changing from that A minor 7 to the G, instead of doing the G with the standard fingers, what we can actually do is just move these two fingers up here. And it's actually quite a fast way of changing. So you might want to experiment with that as well. And it's the same with things like moving to the E minor chord. So where I've got these fingers here, my first finger can just move from there to there. So in this particular case, we've got an anchor point where it's my middle finger. And then also the F, very similar again to that C shape where we're just moving these two down. So if you're new to these chord shapes, it's a really good idea to get used to seeing where these anchor points are and really taking note of those, because it can really help you maneuver around the different chord shapes and help you with your chord changes. Finally, I just wanted to mention a little bit about picking and strumming patterns. Now, I've actually been using quite a ramshackle approach throughout most of this video with just my thumb and first finger, this kind of... And you can actually use different dynamics to kind of change it up. You can even use different patterns using all fingers. And if you want to rock it up, you can actually use a pick as well. And that works really well as well. So I encourage you to just experiment with it and have fun with it and see what works for you. I really hope you guys enjoyed that. And if it's given you some value, just remember to smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I've also got a cover version, actually, an instrumental cover of this track in the style of John Mayer. So if you want to check that out, which I definitely recommend you do, just click on this video link here. As ever, you've been watching The Musicals. I'm KH. Until next time, keep on rocking. So that was the verse. Now we're going to move on to... That was the intro. Sorry about that.